Welcome to Modern Motoring. I'm Jay. In this video, we are going to go through what's new with the 2025 Chrysler Grand Caravan. Let's get this intro closed up and get on the road. Let's start this video off with some very interesting numbers relating to the 2025 Chrysler Grand Caravan. From 2023 to 2024, sales were up 133%. In the first quarter of 2025, sales were up 131% compared to the first quarter of 2024. So for a very, what I used to think as unpopular minivan among buyers is clearly not, because these two sales figures are pretty impressive. And well, I guess there is a market for the Chrysler Grand Caravan. So with that, let's get the video started. We'll go through some baseline numbers, what's new for 2025, perks, quirks, irks, pricing, and competition, and that should wrap us up. Grand Caravan runs off the same power plant as recent years, and that's a 3.6-liter V6, 287 horsepower, 262 pound-feet of torque, 9-speed automatic, front-wheel drive only. It's assembled in Canada, and it is only sold in Canada. Now, if you're thinking, no, Grand Caravan is sold elsewhere. Well, that's the Pacifica that's sold elsewhere and Canada as well. But Grand Caravan is Canadian only. As far as what's new for 2025, a little bit of stuff. So now there is a standard 10.1-inch Uconnect infotainment screen. There is a 7-inch digital instrument cluster. There are still big analog dials bookending it. Leatherette seats instead of cloth. The rear doors get the sunshades, and there is a super console as opposed to a regular console. And now we have a 3-zone climate control system, a little more standard safety for 2025. That includes rear park assist, adaptive cruise control with stop and go, lane departure warning, blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert. A quick touch on fuel consumption, and we are at 10.6 liters combined per 100 kilometers on a 71-liter fuel tank of 87 octane. Means you can go approximately 669 kilometers. That's just my basic math. So let's start off with the perks. And I think the one trim with minimal features is great for what this vehicle is. You know, this would never fly with Toyota or Honda or any other manufacturer, but for a very niche vehicle, being the minivan, and being available only in one country, being Canada, I don't think Chrysler either can, needs to, or wants to really expand this. And plus they have the Pacifica if you want something with more options for a little more money. You can pick your exterior colors. It's red, white, or black. You can't pick much on the interior. I'll get into more of the options later on once we get into pricing. Standard features include a heated steering wheel, heated front seat, 16-way front passenger seat, tons of safety. Again, the 3-zone climate control is now standard. You only get 7 seats, so it's 2-2-3 as far as the configurator goes. And in news that will be surprising to nobody, if you're looking at a van, you want some cargo space, you want to put people, stuff, and things in here. So you can get up to 3,978 liters of cargo space with everything pushed down, folded, collapsed, stowed, and goed, and all the things. So nearly 4,000 liters is pretty impressive. And the Chrysler Canada website says with all 7 seats filled, you still have 2,477 liters of cargo space. That's one hell of a number for the company that invented the minivan. I'm happy that the utilitarianism side is still here. These stow and go seats were pretty awesome when they first came out, and they are still awesome now in 2025. You know, sometimes people will buy minivans as work vans, and if you need a lot of open cargo area, again, those stow and go seats are pretty hard to beat. Because sure, in other minivans, they have the seats that fold down, or they have the seat backs that fold up, and you get a little more space there. But the cavernous space here with the stow and go seats pushed down and just everything collapsed, a lot of function here. And the final perk is that it drives well for a minivan. It's not the fastest, it's not the smoothest, it's not going to win any awards for best driving minivan. But on the practical side, it is fairly smooth. There's enough power in it to get you up and running. This isn't a how fast can you do the 0 to 100 sprint. You want something that will just keep your passengers happy. It's not intrusive as far as road noise goes. Yeah, its slight drawback is it's only front-wheel drive, whereas the Pacifica, its stablemate, runs with an all-wheel drive option. More on that later. But I've had no problems in driving on highways, back roads, and city roads this week. And it's got that American style suspension where things are soft and fluffy and cushy. And it's always been like that with the current generation of Caravan, and I like it. If a minivan was in my range of vehicles I was looking for and ride comfort was one of my key drivers, I would have the Grand Caravan near the top of my list. On the Quirks side, the first one is the Grand Caravan itself. And I say that because there's the Pacifica, which comes in multiple trims, front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive, and that's a little more money. And there is the plug-in hybrid option as well. So I'm happy it's here. I'm happy we're giving people choice in the affordable section of minivans, this being the second most affordable as far as base MSRP goes in Canadian dollars. But it's only in Canada, and it's a weird thing, and I don't know what's going to happen with the future of Chrysler Stellantis. It is May 29th today, and I believe yesterday Stellantis announced a new global CEO, which will take effect, I believe, June 23rd, if memory works for me. So who knows what's going to happen with Chrysler in Canada. The next quirk is the wiper stock, because it moves upward once, and that gets you your single wipe. But to control the rest of it, you've got to twist the dial to go from low to high to all your intermittents. And I don't know, Chrysler, come on, like if you can make it move once going upward, you could just make it traditional to go down for your other settings. The rear wiper controls are a little further in on that same stock, which is nice and fine, whatever. But it's a little quirky that it seems a little over-engineered. The choice of exterior colors is also interesting. Black, white, and red, that's all you can get. And I realize with a smaller production run of any vehicle, you don't want to have too many options out there. But I'm kind of surprised Chrysler didn't go with blue or maybe a gray. I understand the black and white side of it. But yeah, a little quirky that they picked red as far as their only real color. Onto the Irks side of it, and for as good as the stow and go seats are, there's a little bit of extra work that has to be done to get those second row of seats pushed into the floor. I sit all the way back, I sit all the way up, and with the seat pushed all the way back, the second row of seats cannot be utilized for the stow and go function. I've got to move my seat a little more than halfway forward to get those rails out of the way, and then the compartment flap will open wide enough to allow the seat again to collapse all the way into it. And if you opt for the package that has the floor mats, those also have to be taken out, and they're large pieces, and it's a first world problem for sure, but just something to keep in mind. Next up is the rotary gear selector. I've never liked it. It's not my thing. And it's not I just don't like it for the sake of not liking it. I don't like it because it's circular the same way the volume dial is, and it's really close to the volume dial. So at times I've reached down thinking I was going to turn the volume, but I accidentally touched the gear selector. Last irk is going to be that there is no sunroof, whether it be single panel or panoramic. And I know I said earlier that I like that the Grand Caravan doesn't come with a lot of options. This is the one that I feel they missed out on the most, because it's only one color for the interior, and that color is black. So black roof liner, black seats, black door panels, black dashboard, black everything. So it does feel a little closed in here. And yes, I know there's nearly 4,000 liters of cargo space once everything's pushed down, and it is a very large vehicle because, well, it is a minivan. But maybe even offering a different colored headliner, maybe even a gray, would give it a bit of a feeling of openness. Let's wrap up with pricing and competition, and the single trim you can get for the 2025 Chrysler Grand Caravan is the SXT, and your MSRP for that is $47,700, making it the second most affordable minivan on the Canadian market for this year. Options are thin. Here are the options you can get. can get a block heater, you can get splash guards, you can get the interior protection package, which includes the floor mats like we have here, which have to be moved out of the way if you want to get the Stone Ghost seats to actually work. And you can get a protective clear film. That's it. That's all. No cooled seats, no massaging seats, no upgraded audio, no different choice of interior colors, interior materials. This is it. Take it or leave it. And based off those stats I gave in the beginning of the video, customers are taking it. We have 4 competitors here, and let's run through the base Canadian MSRPs. So for the Pacifica, it's $53,600. For the Kia Carnival, it is $41,495. Honda Odyssey rings in at $49,920, and the Toyota Sienna comes in at $48,100. This isn't a big volume seller. Sales are around the 5,000 per year mark here with the Grand Caravan. At least that's what it was for 2024. And sales are up this year so far for 2025 on the first quarter. But if you are looking for plenty of features, plenty of value at a reasonable price, you know, considering the average price of a new car in Canada for 2024 was in the mid $60,000 point, a touch under 50 for an MSRP here with the Grand Caravan does a lot. I will say that if you are looking for something with a lower monthly payment, with a lot of features and benefits, and you're looking for, you know, the brand that invented the minivan, the elder statesperson of the minivan segment, then this 2025 Chrysler Grand Caravan is hard to beat. That's going to wrap it up for the 2025 Chrysler Grand Caravan. I am so impressed with myself that I did not call it the Dodge Grand Caravan once. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate the support. I invite you to join us on our social media platforms. We are on all of the major ones. Without you, there is no modern motoring. So I thank you, I appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.